Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. How are you? I hope you are enjoying the best of health. I welcome you in my class, that is English for grade 3. We are learning Unit 7. Its title is Student of the Year. My dear fellow teachers, this lesson plan, PowerPoint presentation and worksheet links are given. You may click it, download it, follow it as it is or modify it for your convenience. I am going to deliver my lecture according to this lesson plan. Yes, my dear students, today we learn to follow instructions and directions and to cover speech bubbles. Before this, in English for grade 2, we have learned about commands and its responses, how to respond to commands. I hope you remember. If not, you may watch this video lecture again. And today we are going to learn further to use appropriate expressions in conversation to articulate, or recognize and use some formulaic expressions to respond to simple instructions and directions, and write guided sentences in speech bubbles and cartoon strips using vocabulary, tone, style of expression appropriate to the communicative purpose and context. These are our today's essay. Let's start with the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah mentions in Quran Surah An-Nur verse 51, the only statement of the true believers when they are called to Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam to judge between them is that they say, we hear and we obey. And those are the successful. Yes, my dear students, what this beautiful verse is telling us. Whenever there is a message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there is a sunnah of our beloved Prophet Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, we hear it, we should obey it. Samana wa atana. Listen and follow. Listen and obey. Why? Because this is the key to be successful. Right? So beta, whenever we are being instructed, I've told you before this that to obey our elder is also a command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We should obey our parents, our teachers, our elders. Okay? So whenever you are being asked for something to do it, what should you say? Okay. Right? You should obey it, because this is how we will be successful and we will be loved by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? So let's start our today's lecture. First, you tell me, what do you know about instructions and commands? Okay? And how do you respond to instructions and commands? Pause the video, answer these questions to your teacher, and then come back. Yes, my dear students, I hope you remember and you have answered correctly that instructions and directions are a series of orders, or steps and guidelines that need to be taken to achieve a certain goal or perform a task. Okay, so when you are supposed to do something, whatever the steps you follow, or whatever the instructions you are being given, those are known as directions and instructions. And I just told you, whenever you are being given directions and instructions, what should you do? You should follow it. Good. And its example is, stay together in the park. Now, this is an instruction. When we are, maybe your teacher is taking you or your parents are taking you to park, they're saying stay together. So, it's an instruction, you are supposed to follow it. Open your gate and go to left and take a turn. Now, these are guidelines for directions. Open your gate, go to left, and then take a turn to reach to somewhere. Right? This is how beta we give or we follow instructions. Because if I open my gate and I don't take left, can I reach to the goal, to the point where I want to? No. That's why we need to follow the directions. All right? How do we do it? For example, you see, from your house, you want to go to nearest shopping mall. What are the directions? Walk straight for 2 blocks. Then turn left When you see a small cafe, stay straight until you see an ice cream shop, turn right, enter the shopping center. Right? To the points, and every step you will follow to reach to shopping center. The other example may be you are packing a suitcase. How can you pack it? Go shopping for a suitcase. First of all, you need a suitcase. Bring it. If you don't have at home, get your clothes and other supplies needed. Fold your clothes and put them in your suitcase. Close your suitcase and zip it up. Right? So these are the steps. You cannot miss any to pack a proper suitcase. Right? Beta, whenever you are supposed to give directions, give it in detail, and if you are being given direction, you should follow each and every step. Right? So let's learn it through an activity. Are you ready for that? All right. Your teacher will divide class in teams. Each team will have 4 to 5 members and will write sentences for instructions, directions, and its responses. The team with more correct sentences will get more points, and teacher can make rounds for the same task to find winner team with maximum points. Teacher can also shuffle team members during the task. The way we just learnt about directions, teacher can give them a scenario how to reach this or how to do this, and teams will write the directions for that task. Okay, so let's see who does it nicely. Pause the video, enjoy this beautiful activity, and then come back. Yes, my dear children, are you done with it? Good job. So it's time to practice from your book. Now you see, take this plate to the kitchen. This is an instruction Mama is asking to the girl, to daughter. She's saying, sure, mother. Right? Whatever you have said, I will do it. Put this mirror down. You can see yourself later. So the hairdresser is talking to the child, and he said, okay, because if he will not follow the instruction, maybe he can get a spoiled haircut. All right. So beta, this is the importance of directions, that when someone is talking, you should listen and follow it. Now this is the way how we find the instructions and we follow them. Keeping this structure in your mind, look at this picture. There are different people. Look at their picture and find out what instruction can this person be passing to the other. You have to yourself. And when we are writing in speech bubble, because it's direct conversation, you should be precise. This person, he's a dentist and he is a patient. So what dentist is saying, you will write here, and what he is responding to that instruction or command, you will write here in both pictures. Do you understand? Okay, pause the video, complete this task in your book, and then come back. Yes, my dear students, are you done with it? Good job. So it's time for your homework. You will write 5 sentences for instructions and directions and their responses. And I'm giving you a worksheet, my dear fellow teachers. This worksheet, lesson plan, PowerPoint presentation links are given. You may click it, download it, and kindly provide a printed worksheet to students for practice. And my dear students, what you are going to do, here are pictures. You will look at that, and here are questions. You will keep looking at picture and writing the answers for the directions. Okay, this is the worksheet. And in this way, what we have learned, we learn to use appropriate expressions in conversation to articulate, recognize, and use some formulaic expressions to respond to simple instructions and directions. And we learned to write guided sentences in speech bubbles and cartoon strips using vocabulary, tone, style, and expression appropriate to the communicative purpose and context. So in this way, we achieved our SLOs to use appropriate expressions in conversation to articulate, recognize, and use some formulaic expressions to respond to simple instructions and directions. Write guided sentences in speech bubbles and cartoon strips using vocabulary, tone, style, and expression appropriate to communicative purpose and context. Are we done with it? Yes. So that's it for today. Tomorrow I'll come again with the very interesting lesson. Till that time, keep learning, keep practicing, and take very good care of yourself. Thank you and Allah Hafiz.